Welcome, dear disciples. How are you all doing? So, today we have brought another story for you. And trust me, it is absolutely wild. Imagine a regular, broke college student named Zhao In who stumbles into a mysterious life exchange club where you can trade lives with anyone. He thinks he's just going to live a carefree billionaire lifestyle. But oh boy, his very first swap triggers absolute, mind-shattering chaos. We've got a stunning secretary who takes off her clothes to give him body warmth, an ice queen counselor teacher who turns into a blushing mess from his blatant flirting, a gorgeous martial arts wife delivering a brutal taekwondo axe kick to the skull, and a legendary, mysterious female tycoon who stays youthful forever and literally drops everything to team up with him. The best part? Zhao goes back in time, casually leaves a trail of world-class tech billionaires indebted to him, and returns to the modern world only to have tech icons bowing at his feet. The look of absolute terror and pure shock on the faces of his arrogant rivals when they see him pulling off these slick, god-level moves is just chef's kiss. They're literally sweating bullets and crying waterfalls. But guys, the real danger is just starting because a massive, ruthless tournament is about to erupt where everyone's life points are up for grabs. So, is our handsome genius going to completely dominate the system, or did he just walk right into a deadly trap? To know what happens next, watch this complete video. I'll get right into it. Friends, imagine this. An elite billionaire boss, openly engaging in an affair and discussing life with his beautiful secretary right in a luxurious hotel room. Or maybe, college junior student gets rich overnight, hires beautiful classmate as live-in maid. Or maybe, a wealthy female tycoon initiating a romance, freely offering billions of dollars. Is this twisted human nature, or just complete moral degeneracy? A mysterious voice echoed, asking, my friend, do you want to experience these lives too? Are you facing problems you just can't solve? Are you tired of your current life? Then exchange your life, and let others help you solve it. For more details, stay tuned for the Life Exchange Club. Then we see our guy, Zhao In, a junior at Binhai University. He stared his phone, completely panicked. He shouted, asking what on earth this was, wondering if he was hallucinating because he had been completely set up. Just then, his roommate, Zhang Yuan, grabbed him playfully. Zhang Yuan laughed and asked why Zhao In was acting all panic like a frightened cat. He asked, you didn't really send a text to that girl, did you? Zhao In gasped in confusion, huh? Zhao In frantically waved his hands in the air, asking Zhang Yuan if he couldn't see the glowing words right in front of him. But guys, Zhang Yuan was completely clueless. He called Zhao In stupid, asking what words he was talking about, before snatching his phone to see what naughty things they were chatting about. Look, I'm telling you guys, having your friend read your risky texts out loud is a universal nightmare. Zhao Yin's face turned pale with sheer terror. He thought to himself, am I the only one who can see this? Seriously? Could this be a prelude to becoming a ghost? Meanwhile, Zhang Yuan scrolled through the phone with a loud tap. The messages were terrifying. The other person had texted, I'm your counselor, Chen Yairo. Meet me in the classroom. Zhang Yuan yelled out in shock. Whoa, old Zhao. You really sent it. Zhang Yuan burst into hysterical laughter, tears in his eyes. He warned Zhao In that daring to flirt with Binhai's ice queen meant he was in for a spectacular demise. That smile vanished real quick. A cold sweat broke out on Zhao Yin's face as the dreadful realization hit him. He muttered in disbelief. Seriously? It's Chen. Afterwards, his other roommates, Lu Chang and Chen Mao, strolled up. Lu Chang sighed, saying that with Chen Yairo's strict personality, he could only mourn for Zhao In silence for 3 minutes. Chen Mao chimed in, joking that it reminded him of Mr. Lu Sun's quote about some people being alive but already gone. With a sharp snatching motion, Zhao In grabbed his phone back. He angrily corrected them, shouting that it was Zhang Qijia who said that. He yelled at them for fooling him with all this nonsense, furious that they had tricked him into thinking the other side was a lonely 19-year-old female college student. Zhang Yuan just kept laughing, mocking Zhao In by asking if he hadn't righteously claimed he wouldn't add her. He called him truly hypocritical scum, looking utterly defeated. Zhao In innocently asked, did I do something wrong? He thought, I just wanted to selflessly offer my body to warm this girl's restless heart. That's all. Suddenly, a chilling voice echoed from the balcony above. Zhao In. It was Counselor Chen Yairo herself, glaring down with an icy authority. She commanded him to come to her office, wanting to see just how naughty he really was. The exact second he knew, he messed up. Look at his face. He stuttered, asking what in the world was happening. Chen Yairo adjusted her glasses, her gaze piercing right through him. She coldly stated that daring to openly flirt with her was a first in Binhai University's history. She ordered him to come up immediately and not make her wait. In the next scene, his loyal roommates instantly betrayed him, dramatically waving goodbye. They wished him luck, joking that in 18 years, he'd be a flirtatious man again and promised to burn incense for his memory. Tears streamed down Zhao Yin's face as he cried out, asking if they were trying to play him to his end. At this time, the world around him seemed to freeze as glowing blue lines descended from the sky. A massive futuristic holographic screen materialized right in front of him. It read, "Invitation to join Life Exchange Club. Would you like to join now? Yes or no?" Bathed in an eerie blue light, Zhao Yin's eyes widened in sheer disbelief. He gasped, "It's happening again." But guys, this is where the story gets interesting. A wild, almost unhinged grin spread across Zhao Yin's face. As his trembling finger reached out to press yes, he declared, "Life is such a mess. Why fear the unknown?" The moment he touched the screen, a thunderous explosion of glowing blue shards erupted around him, shattering reality itself. He was instantly pulled into a mesmerizing digital void, falling through an endless stream of glowing data and floating fragments. When he finally opened his eyes, he was standing in a massive high-tech hub filled with bizarre creatures, including a giant polka-dot horn beast. Looking around in absolute bewilderment, he stuttered, asking where on earth this was. Zhao Yin looked around in pure disbelief. He exclaimed, "Is this the Life Exchange Club? This is really amazing. Am I not dreaming?" A smooth voice replied from right in front of him. She said, "Mr. Zhao, you are not dreaming." The woman turned around, revealing herself to be a stunning lady in a stylish outfit. She smiled warmly and explained, "You have become a member of this club. Here, you can exchange lives with anyone, even animals. I am called Su, the club manager," still trying to wrap his head around it. Zhao Yin asked, "Manager Su, can we really exchange lives here?" Of course, everyone can see their potential exchange partner's basic information and choose who to exchange with. The holographic board showcased an insane lineup of candidates. There was Lu Mang, a rising male idol with millions of fans. Then there was Mo Qingwu, a wealthy and renowned female entrepreneur. And guys, there was even a fluffy white cat named Puppet, an internationally renowned celebrity pet who gets to sleep in bed with beautiful women every night. I'm telling you guys, that cat has a better life than me. Sue leaned in slightly, her tone encouraging. She explained, "Once you find a suitable partner, you can agree on the terms and duration of the exchange. There are no force conditions, is very flexible." Zhao Yin stroked his chin, a serious expression crossing his face as he pondered a critical issue. He thought, wait, if I have a girlfriend and exchange lives, will I not get cheated on? But then a moment of tragic realization hit him. He muttered himself, "Well, I do not have one anyway." Sensing his hesitation, Sue quickly reassured him, "Do not worry. Before the exchange, you can sign an agreement to limit sharing specific memories and specify things that cannot be done. Once signed, neither party can violate it." Zhao Yin sighed in relief, replying, "Oh, I see." Then he asked, "And how can I come here again next time?" Sue said, "You can come here whenever you want just by thing about here or I go find a suitable person." But then a wave of insecurity washed over him. He thought, "I'm just an ordinary, broke, handsome guy. Will anyone even want to exchange with me?" Brushing off his doubts, he decided to check his own standing. He told himself, "Never mind. Let's take a look at my profile first." Mimicking the other members, he swiped his hand through the air. He whispered, "I see others just swipe their hands like this." Got it. Instantly, a glowing blue panel materialized in front of him. It read aloud, "Respected lifetime member. Your information is Zhao Yin. Male unemployed, no fixed assets, no stable income." Suddenly, the atmosphere in the room shifted. A group of intense-looking members turned their heads, their eyes locking onto Zhao Yin with predatory focus. The exact second he knew he messed up. Look at those faces. The crowd's eyes widened in sheer excitement, almost as if they had just spotted a walking goldmine. In the next scene, utter chaos erupted. The crowd swarmed him from all sides. A man yelled, "Brother Zhao, I am a rich second generation. Do you want to consider exchanging with me?" Another shouted, "How about exchanging with me? I'm a world champion." Voices overlapped in a frantic frenzy as movie stars and mega influencers begged to trade lives with him. Guys, honestly, is it just me who is confused over here? A literal talking gorilla roared in the background. Surrounded by this madness, Zhao Yin broke into a cold sweat. He screamed out in panic. Oh my god. He thought wildly. No way. Am I really so popular just by being a normal handsome guy? He scrambled backward, desperately trying to put some distance between himself and a ravenous crowd. He stuttered out in terror. Do not tell me there is a trap. He took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. I need to be cautious and steady. After 3 minutes, a tall, imposing figure in a sharp navy suit stepped forward, cutting through the crowd. He looked down at Zhao and Zhao demanded firmly, "You let us talk in private." The man stood with undeniable authority, radiating wealth and power. He offered a confident smile and said, "Hello, I am honored to be your first exchange partner. My name is Chun Han." Zhao recognized him immediately. He thought to himself, the 32-year-old chairman of Hanjian Group, the most famous entrepreneur in Binhai City. This should be enough for me to show off. Still suspicious, he asked, "Mr. Chun, I do not understand. I am just an ordinary person. Why do you want to exchange with me?" Chun Han calmly held up 2 fingers, explaining the club's bizarre ecosystem. Here, 2 types of people are most popular. One is those who are very capable, and the other is ordinary people like you. That is why people with simple life problems, like you, are usually very popular here. Zhao Yin's face immediately dropped into a deadpan stare. He grumbled internally, "Nonsense. So I am popular just because I am a loser while I am confused too, guys." Ignoring Zhao Yin's bruised ego, Chun Han continued, "By solving the other person's life problems and making their life more colorful, both parties will receive life points after the exchange. And life points can be used to redeem anything you want in the club's store." Zhao Yin's eyes lit up with greed as he cheered. "Anything? That is awesome." Chun Han offered sharp, almost menacing smirk. He whispered confidently, "Of course, how else did I make billions at such a young age?" Zhao Yin hesitated, wanting to establish his boundaries. He stated firmly, "I just want to experience the extravagant life of the wealthy. I do not want to solve any problems. And if I cannot solve the other person's problems and make their life better, will there be punishment?" Chun Han turned and began walking toward the private rooms. "No punishment," he assured him. "You just will not get any points. So do we sign the agreement?" Without missing a beat, Zhao Yin eagerly followed, shouting, "Then what are we waiting for? Let us sign it." Guys, I would have made the same choice. In the next scene, the 2 men sat across from each other in a luxurious private members' restroom. A beautiful attendant in a green dress stood nearby, holding the contract. She instructed smoothly, "When you both confirm the agreement, just say the confirmation word." Zhao Yin unrolled a massive, ridiculously long scroll of paper detailing Chun Han's issues. His sweat dropped, thinking, Chun Han has quite a few life problems, but I am too lazy to read them. I cannot solve them anyway. Meanwhile, Chun Han glanced at Zhao Yin's short profile and chuckled. "Your life problem is Chun Yu. What a coincidence. She is my real sister. It is like giving me free points." Zhao Yin's jaw practically hit the floor. His eyes bulged out in sheer disbelief. He screamed internally. "What the heck? It is really a coincidence. He is so incredibly lucky." After finalizing the terms, the green-dressed attendant gestured to them gracefully. She requested, "Both of you, please close your eyes." As they closed their eyes, a blinding pillar of digital data erupted from the center of the table, wrapping around them in a mesmerizing stream of light. Suddenly, Zhao Yin found himself floating in a dark, empty void. Muffled voices echoed through the darkness, calling out in panic. Chairman Chun, are you okay?" "Chairman Chun, do not scare me." A piercing flash of light slashed through his vision. He groaned in agony, feeling a massive headache splitting his skull. He thought dizzily, my head hurts so much. Is this a success?" His vision slowly began to clear, revealing the blurry silhouette of a woman kneeling over him. Still disoriented, he mumbled, "This? Where is this?" As his vision finally focused, he found himself staring directly at Secretary Su Shu, who was dressed in a very revealing outfit. She let out a desperate sigh of relief and cried, "Thank goodness. Chairman Chun, you finally woke up? You really scared me just now." Taking an extremely compromising view right in front of his face, Zhao Yin was completely stunned. He thought excitedly, "Wow, what is going on here?" But guys, this is where the story gets interesting. Looking down, he realized he was now inhabiting Chun Han's incredibly muscular shirtless body, and the beautiful secretary was positioned right between his legs. He swallowed hard, blushing furiously. He thought this way of starting the life exchange. His heart pounded in his chest as the reality of his new billionaire lifestyle hit him like a truck. A wicked mix of shock and excitement washed over his face. He exclaimed internally, "It is way too thrilling. Guys, I know what you want to see." Zhao Yin thought, "What is happening?" The beautiful secretary Su Shu was leaning over him anxiously. She explained, "I knocked on the door, but no one responded, so I just came in. Then I found you lying on the floor and it scared me." Zhao Yin, currently stuck in the billionaire Chun Dan's body, blushed hard. He replied, "I can't understand, but why did you take off my clothes and undress yourself like this?" He thought it must be the first time we swapped bodies and it is causing some discomfort. I remember someone mentioning that our bodies need time to adjust. Sushu looked at him with teary eyes, her face flushed red as she explained, I was worried about you. You were so cold and I want to give you my body warmth. Well, I also want this kind of secretary, guys. Zhao Yin's mind started racing as he recognized her. He thought, I remember now, this woman is Su Shu, 24 years old, and she is Chun Dan's secretary. She has tried to seduce him a few times, but he never fell for her. What an ambitious woman laying there. Zhao Yin said, oh, I see. Well, let's continue. Su Shu got confused and asked, continue. But hey, Zhao Yin wasn't the original Chun Dan. A devious smile crept onto his face as he thought. Living the life of a tycoon is so wonderful, secretary leaning in said, then I will not hold back. He watched as she leaned closer. Suddenly, a series of heavy knocks echoed against the heavy wooden door. A voice called out, Chairman Chun. That smile vanished real quick. Zhao Yin panicked instantly, waving his hands as he yelled, wait, wait. The door swung open, revealing another female employee holding a stack of files. She announced, Chairman Chun, the shareholders' meeting is about to begin. Here are the documents he wanted. But seeing all this, she froze, letting out a confused gasp, seeing the completely compromised position of her boss and the secretary. The employee was utterly shocked. She trembled and dropped the papers, stammering apologies. She said, I am sorry, Chairman Chun. I thought you were not coming to the conference room, so I got anxious and came in. Zhao Yin smoothly stood up, confidently showing off Chun Dong's chiseled physique and lied through his teeth. He explained, you misunderstood. The room was too hot. I started sweating, so I felt uncomfortable on my back, so I asked her to help me wipe it. It is reasonable, right? Su Shui immediately played along, blushing deeply as she quickly added, yes, I was just helping him wipe his sweat. The employee, sweating bullets and visibly terrified of losing her job, nodded aggressively. She replied, yes, very reasonable. She hurriedly placed the documents on the table, her hands shaking violently as she said, the documents are here. I am leaving now. Afterwards, as soon as the door clicked shut, Su Shui sighed in relief, holding her chest. Phew, that scared me. Zhao Yin gave her a charming smirk and said, do not worry. I am here, but we will have to continue our matter another time. He swiftly picked up his dress shirt, slipping his arms into the sleeves. He declared confidently, I have important business to attend to now. As he adjusted his collar, a calculating look crossed his face. He thought to himself, according to Qindong's memory, there is a board of directors meeting to remove him as the chairman. He grabbed a fresh cup of coffee, completely unbothered by the high stakes. He thought, anyway, it is not my life, let's just have some fun. Looking absolutely sharp and exuding a powerful aura, he announced, I will go and meet those shareholders. Su Shui, totally mesmerized, quickly followed, saying, Chairman Chen, wait for me. I will accompany you. Meanwhile, inside the grand boardroom, the tension was thick. Shareholders were whispering among themselves. One complained, what is wrong with Qindong? Why is he not here yet? Another added, he has been acting unreasonably recently, completely neglecting the company's affairs. A third chimed in, I think he is considering retirement. Suddenly, with a heavy crash, the massive boardroom door was kicked wide open. Zhao Yin strutted into the room with complete arrogance, casually sipping his coffee and singing cheerfully, brawl, 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 brawl. The shareholders jumped in their seats, utterly bewildered. They stared at him like he had lost his mind. One lady asked confusedly, Qindong is this? Another shareholder leaned forward. Chairman Chen, what is going on here? Ignoring all the formalities, Zhao Yin walked right up to the head chair, slumped into it, and kicked his legs up onto the polished mahogany table. He stretched out lazily. These few days have been exhausting and my back is so sore. At this time, Ming, the strict vice chairman of Hanjiang Group, slammed his hands down in frustration. He demanded, Chairman Chen, this is the shareholders' meeting. Please be serious. Zhao Yin stared directly at Ming with a piercing gaze. He thought, according to Qindong's memory, this guy is the mastermind behind the shareholders' meeting. Ming glared right back, adjusting his glasses. He firmly stated, Chairman Chen, I hope you can be serious. This is about respecting all shareholders. Ming's confident expression shattered into utter shock as he let out a confused gasp because nobody could have imagined this. Zhao Yin literally climbed onto the boardroom table, towering over the vice chairman. He shouted mockingly, bite me if you want to bite me. Come on, bite me. He thought it is not my life. I'm not afraid of anything. Let's go crazy. Ming's veins bulged on his forehead as he roared back, Qindong, you are just being crude. Zhao crouched down, his face inches from Yiming's, an intimidating shadow falling over his eyes. He smirked, cannot help it. I'm a rough man. Naturally, I am crude. Even if you were too delicate, it would not make me lose my temper, right? Yiming crossed his arms, refusing to back down. He argued, I will not argue with you. You have been consistently mismanaging the company. And on top of that, you lost the Binhai Capital deal. I believe you are no longer suitable to continue as the chairman of Hanjiang Group. Zhao Yin's expression turned serious as he recalled the details. He thought previously, Binhai Capital chose not to collaborate with Hanjiang Group because a company named Changhong Trading offered a 5% higher bid. This matter was suspicious from the beginning, and now it seems that Yiming is highly suspicious. Just then, Zhao Yin lunged across the table towards Yiming with a loud shout, completely disregarding his status. He grabbed the back of Yiming's chair, getting right up in his ear. He growled, Hanjiang Group is the result of my hard work, and it has been helping everyone make money. If there is a slight mistake now, and you want to kick me when I am down, Mr. He, aren't you being a bit shameless? Yiming nervously tried to push him away, saying, you let go of me. I am not interested in engaging in meaningless arguments with you. Yiming then turned to the rest of the room with a sinister, triumphant grin. He called out, all of you do not just stand around idle. Let's express our opinions. Who supports the proposal to remove Chairman Shindong? A wave of hands shot up into the air. Almost every single shareholder in the long room voted against him. Yiming shot a mocking look at Zhao Yin, declaring confidently, do you see it? You will not be able to sit in this position for much longer. Zhao Yin calmly stepped off the table and slowly settled back into his luxurious leather chair, completely unfazed. He asked, won't be able to sit for much longer, really? He crossed his legs, a dark, chaotic smile forming on his lips. He casually dropped a bombshell, I see. In that case, I will sell all my shares and then proceed to dismantle Hanjiang Group. Hanjiang Group was built by my own hands in just 4 short years. I think it will be even easier to destroy it. The exact second he knew he messed up, look at his face. The older shareholders immediately panicked. One older man pleaded, Shindong, you do not need to play this big game, do you? Hanjiang Group is thriving. Why self-destruct? Zhao Yin rested his chin on his hand, his eyes glowing with ruthless authority. He replied coldly, do not waste your breath. You all chose this. Do you doubt my ability? The threat worked flawlessly. The purple-haired lady immediately changed her tune, nervously laughing. I support Chairman Chen. Hanjiang has been making money under his leadership. The chubby shareholder quickly agreed, clutching his chest. We cannot judge a hero's achievements based on short-term success or failure. I also support Chairman Chen. Zhao Yin's eyes narrowed sharply, a brilliant, calculated glint in his gaze. He observed, that is right. You are right. As shareholders, we should not be swayed by someone's persuasion and change sides easily. Yiming completely lost his cool. He stood up, pointing aggressively as he yelled, Shindong, you are shameless. How is this any different from a gangster? Zhao Yin just laughed softly, replying, no difference. Bite me if you can. But, guys, the real twist hasn't even started yet. Zhao Yin leaned forward, clasping his hands together, his demeanor turning icy cold. He announced, okay, let us propose this. Due to Vice Chairman, he's excessive mental stress. He is no longer suitable for his position. We officially relieve him of his duties as Vice Chairman so that he can rest and recover from his hard work for the company. The terrified shareholders instantly agreed like a flock of sheep. Voices echoed through the room. Chairman, wise decision, and I strongly support it. This is so humane. I also support it. Yes, you should take a good rest. Yiming was trembling with pure fury, his glasses slipping down his sweaty face. He gritted his teeth and shouted, you bunch of two-faced scoundrels. Zhao Yin ignored him completely. He turned to Su Shui with a commanding look and instructed Secretary Su, draft the document and start the voting process. She smiled brightly, entirely pleased. Yes, Chairman Chun. 5 minutes later, the documents were piled neatly on the desk. A voice formally announced, Chun Dong's vote has been counted. It is unanimously passed. Zhao Yin looked down at his defeated rival with a satisfied, mocking smile. He declared, Vice Chairman He, you are relieved of all your positions now. You can go home and rest peacefully. Yiming glared at him, his voice shaking with absolute rage as he spat out, Chundong. With a sharp crash, Yiming slammed his hands against the table, lunging forward like a madman. He screamed, Chundong, you absolute insult. I'm not sick. The room erupted into chaos as security guards rushed in, grabbing Yiming by the arms to hold him back. He struggled violently, yelling, let me go. As he continued to roar, Chundong, I will end you. Zhao simply watched the spectacle with a cold, victorious smirk. He ordered calmly, Haiming's mental state is getting worse. I feel like he might attack someone at any moment. Security, please escort Vice Chairman He to rest. The guards forcefully dragged the Vice Chairman towards the exit. Haiming continued to struggle, shouting over his shoulder, Chundong. This matter is not over. Come on, guys. Zhao Yin's acting skills here are Oscar-worthy. He turned to the remaining board members with a completely fake expression of sadness. He asked, Haiming is leaving us. Aren't you all going to wish him well? The shareholders, sweating profusely and eager to save their own skins, immediately waved hypocritically. They shouted, Haiming, have a safe journey. Do not worry. Haiming, you will always be in our hearts. Take care of yourself. Haiming, for all eternity. Hearing this unbelievable betrayal, Haiming let out a visceral, agonizing gasp, practically coughing up his own sheer frustration as the spirit completely broke. Zhao Yin looked on, his eyes glowing with an intense, intimidating dark aura. He declared dramatically, Look, everyone, Vice Chairman, he has put his heart and soul into the company. He even collapsed from strain, insisting that he is not sick, is truly moving. The remaining shareholders sat frozen in their seats, pale and trembling in sheer horror. They all thought the exact same thing. Chundong, the chairman, is very terrifying. Meanwhile, back at the towering headquarters in Binhai capital city, Miss Expectant Secretary approached with her notebook. She said, Chairman Chun, Chairman, he left his positions for personal reasons, so the vice chairman position is now. Chairman Chun leaned on the desk and declared, the role of vice chairman is crucial. Let's leave it vacant until we find the right person. Elsewhere, a calculating executive grin. From what he said, it seems like an opportunity is coming. Vice Chairman, I've been longing for this position for a long time. I have to perform well from now on. Back with Chairman Chun, he smirked confidently. He looks like these guys have been temporarily dealt with. While someone asked, Chairman Chun, the cooperation with Binhai Capital was taken away by Chan Hong Trading. Are we just gonna let it go like this? An angry, bitter lady slammed her hand on the table. After preparing for so long, we end up being the one making a wedding dress for someone else. I am not willing to accept this. We were only 5% away from the bid. How could things be so coincidental? There must be a mole in the company. Chairman Chun sat quietly, clasping his hands together. Don't worry, he said calmly. Leave this matter for me to handle. The room murmured in approval. Chairman Chun is indeed well prepared, one praised. This is the true nature of a self-made billionaire, another added. Leave this matter to Chairman Chun. Nothing will go wrong. Chun leaned back lazily. What a mess. Who knows how to deal with this? I came here for a life of luxury. Whether they signed a contract or not is none of my business. Chairman Chun cleared his throat loudly. Now that everything is settled, I announce the meeting is adjourned. As the executives filed out, Zhang Zong chuckled to his colleagues. Vice Chairman, he's been taken down. Looks like you're in a good mood. His colleague whispered back, can't say that out loud. Ha! In his private office, Chairman Chun looked at his beautiful secretary. I have something to attend to. Please cancel all my schedules for the next 2 days. Okay, Chairman Chun, she replied. By the way, he added, please investigate the background of Chong Hong Trading as soon as possible. He reached out and patted her head. Very obedient, he teased. The secretary blushed deeply. Chairman Chun, don't act like this. It's not good if someone sees us. He adjusted his tie with a charming smile. You're right. It's not good. She looked up at him with wide, hopeful eyes, thinking, what? Did I pretend to be a good woman too much? He gently touched her cheek. So next time, let's find a place where no one can see us and have a discreet discussion. I have something to do today. You can go back first. With a soft click-clack of her heels, she turned and walked away. Her tight skirt swayed with every step. Look, guys, he's definitely enjoying the view. A mischievous grin spread across his face. It's time to have some fun. With a roaring engine, a bright red sports car sped through the city, pulling up to the luxurious Binhai International Hotel. He stepped out a flashy car with absolute swagger. He looked up at the towering structure. Binhai International Hotel, the best hotel in Binhai capital city. He smirked himself. Everything is great, except it's expensive. However, being expensive is not the hotel's fault. It's my own fault for being poor. A bellboy immediately greeted him. Welcome, Chairman Chun. He strode through the grand entrance. The life of the rich is so enjoyable. Madame Purple's suit hurried over. Chairman Chun, will everything be the same as you usually order? He grinned at her. No, I'll order the dishes myself today. She nodded eagerly. Okay, okay. Suddenly, a familiar voice called out, Brother? He turned around, surprised. It was his sister, Chenyu. But guys, this is where the story gets interesting. Walking right behind her was Jiuyan. That's right, the real Qindong was inside Jiuyan's body. He panicked for a second, sweating under the collar. Unbelievable. Is it really such a coincidence? He thought. He stumbled his words, saying he just came to have a meal, and asked who was with her. Qindong, in Jiuyan's body, stepped forward and extended his hand. Hello, I'm a student of Teacher Chun. My name is Jiuyan. You watched him, thinking. Jiuyan seems to be quite confident. Jiuyan, inside Chen Han's body, shook his hand firmly with a sly smile. Since we have switched bodies, it's time for revenge, he thought. He leaned in and said, Hello, I'm Yu's brother, Qindong. This girl has been spoiled, has a bad temper, doesn't understand human emotions, likes to cause trouble, and acts ruthlessly. Qindong, trapped in Jiuyan's body, looked absolutely horrified. He muttered in disbelief. Yu stepped forward, visibly annoyed. Brother, is it necessary to say such things about your sister? He just shrugged. What I said is still too mild. Qindong was furious internally. You little brat, you dare to use my body to badmouth my sister? Seeking revenge in public. But out loud, he forced a strained smile. No, actually, Teacher Chun is very amiable, gentle, and very understanding. He laughed and brushed him off. Right, you two talk. I have a dinner appointment. Little sister, don't bully people, okay? Yu glared at him. What did you say? He walked away happily. Time is limited. Let's enjoy ourselves first. Yu adjusted her glasses, looking confused. My brother is acting strange today. Jiaodian said to Teacher Yu, Ahem, I think your brother's words, just now were probably meant for me. After all, Teacher Chun is so beautiful, your brother must be afraid that I would have ulterior motives towards you. That's why he said those things. She then looked at Jiaoyan. Really, I never expected Jiaoyan to be so broad-minded. She smiled softly. This brat might actually have feelings for me. I feel a bit moved for some reason. In the next scene, inside a lavish golden private room, a massive feast was laid out before him. Several beautiful hostesses stood by. Are you satisfied with today's dishes? One asked. The table was covered with glowing, perfectly cooked steaks and luxurious seafood. Every bite looked like pure wealth and extravagance. He wiped his mouth with a napkin, thoroughly satisfied. Not bad. Both of you come and have a drink with me, and the other two dance for me to see. I'll give each of you 10,000. Miss Blue Toast handed him a drink. Chairman Chun, this sister would like to propose a toast to you. He laughed joyfully. That's right. Let's continue to have fun. The other two girls began to sway and dance gracefully in the middle of the room. He leaned back, completely surrounded by beautiful women. Money is really detestable. It makes people feel miserable and helpless. A wide, blissful smile spread across his face. It's a pity those three rascals in the dorm and those classmates from school can't see the current me. Miss Pink Lap hugged his arm. Qindong, what are you thinking about so deeply? He smirked. I thought of something fun. Come on, give me a blow to cheer me up. She looked at him seductively. Blow? Is it here? He pointed enthusiastically. Yes. Go and get a flute and blow it. Play a tune to entertain me. I think you all guys know which flute she's playing. The hostesses giggled together. So, it's playing a real flute. I thought there's a sideline opportunity to make money again. It's a pity. I want to taste what it feels like to be a wealthy person. Guys, do you know what he wants to taste? His eyes suddenly widened with a brilliant idea. Yes, a wealthy person. Wait, I thought a way to show off as the real me. Afterwards, the scene shifts to the track field at Binhai University. Next group, Class 3, 800 meters start. The students were jogging on the track. One guy teased his friend. Didn't the Ice Queen teacher call for you? How did she punish you? He shot back. You still have the courage to say that after framing me like that. Suddenly, everyone stopped and gasped. Hey, isn't that a Rolls Royce? Who drove that in here? Heavens, it's a phantom. So luxurious. Even Zhao Yan on the track stopped and stared in utter confusion. A massive, sleek black Rolls Royce pulled right up to the edge of the field. What? What's going on here? A crowd immediately gathered around the stunning vehicle. Such grandeur. Quick, take a picture of this. The license plate read 77777. Pure, unadulterated status. Zhao Yan watched as a polished dress. Shu stepped out. It's my car. With a heavy, synchronized thud, multiple men in black suits marched out. Zhao Yan, inside Chairman Chen's body, walked forward confidently, flanked by a massive squad of towering bodyguards. The students went wild. Unbelievable. It's Chen Dong and he's walking towards us. Why did he come to this school? Rich people are so cool. A girl grabbed her friend excitedly. It's the first time I've seen the real Chen Dong. Yes, I only saw him on TV before. I didn't expect him to be so tall and handsome. Zhao Yan thought. What's this kid up to again? Chen walked toward the running track with absolute authority, bathing in the glory. But, guys, nobody could have imagined this. He suddenly stopped, looking completely stunned. They all bowed deeply to the student in the white shirt. The real Zhao Yan. Young master, I finally found you, they cried. I can't handle the company anymore. Please come back and take charge. Zhao Yan, trapped in Chen Dong's body, looked like his soul just left him. Huh, what kind of drama is this? The exact second he knew he messed up. Look at his face. Friends, the real Chen Han, now trapped inside Zhao Yan's student body, was absolutely losing his mind. He glared at the men bowing before him and shouted, I've lived for so many years and I've never seen such a shameless person. He realized Zhao Yan was using his new billionaire status to hire actors, just to make his original student identity look like a hidden tycoon. Chen Han cursed, using my body to make yourself more popular. This audacity is unbelievable. Meanwhile, the campus was in total uproar. His bitter classmates screamed, you can pretend to be poor, but why do you still want to snatch last year's financial aid from me? The other students were completely stunned, whispering among themselves, Han Jiang Group actually belongs to him? Chen Dong is just a figurehead. This is incredible. Suddenly, Lu Chang lunged forward, grabbing him tightly by the shoulders. He exclaimed, you've been hiding so deeply. Zhang Yuan chimed in, pointing a finger and smiling brightly. Brother, we have been friends for so long. You do remember all the good things I did for you, right? But guys, Chen Han wasn't having any of it. In a fit of rage, he delivered a swift punch, sending Zhang Yuan flying backward. He roared, what brother? What good things? You're just trying to gain favors from him. Zhao Yan covered his face, practically trembling as the students continued to misinterpret the situation. He thought to himself in pure frustration. The arrogance, he's just pretending there's no one worse than him. In the next scene, a wicked, victorious smirk formed in the shadows. Look, I'm telling you guys, Zhao Yan was having the time of his life, basking in the glory of his fabricated hidden billionaire persona. He thought, finally, I've managed to make everyone think I'm the real deal. As the actor bowed deeply, pleading for mercy, Zhao Yan felt absolutely ecstatic and carefree. Meanwhile, Chen Yu was watching from a distance, completely mesmerized, holding her documents tightly. She wondered, who is Zhao Yan exactly? Why is even my brother so respectful to him? She couldn't help but feel captivated by this mysterious man. Back on the ground, Chen Dong, still stuck in the student's body, glared and muttered, you so sly. The hired actors were still putting on a flawless performance. The main man in the suit gestured dramatically and announced, don't want to take charge, then let the young master return and inherit the family property. That was the last straw. Chen Dong fiercely kicked the men away, screaming, get lost. Get lost as far as you can. How shameless. The actors easily tumbled back, casually replying, fine. Tears streamed down Chen Dong's face as the overwhelming regret set in. Now honestly, anyone would panic here. He cried, the biggest mistake of my life was making this deal with this pretentious person. He trembled at the thought, wondering what else Zhao Yan had done with his body. But the surrounding students were completely misreading the room. They watched in absolute awe. I can't believe it. The boss just left so dejectedly, one gasped. Another pointed out, he dares to talk to him like that. No one else dares. A hidden big shot indeed. Later that evening, at the luxurious mansion, a sweet, melodic voice echoed through the halls, calling out, brother. Zhao Yan was comfortably leaning back on the sofa when Chen Yu approached from behind. She asked curiously, what's the matter with Zhao Yan? Why are you calling him young master? Leaning back with a confident smile, Zhao Yan decided to weave an unbelievable lie. This is a long story, but you should know he began smoothly. Everyone thinks I made it big from scratch, but actually Zhao Yan was the one making all the decisions. I was just a puppet. Chen Yu gasped in utter shock. What? She exclaimed, pressing her hands to her chest. She had always admired her brother, but hearing that her student Zhao Yan was the true mastermind behind the Han Jiang Group left her speechless. She thought, no wonder his way of speaking and demeanor are so similar to my brother. As she calculated the timeline, a deep blush spread across her cheeks. Wait, she realized, Zhao Yan was already so capable at the age of 15. Is he even human? She gazed at him in sheer awe, amazed that such an extraordinary man existed in the world. But guys, this is where the story gets interesting. Caught up in the admiration, Chenyu playfully unbuttoned her overshirt, exposing her figure. She purred, "Brother." She leaned in close, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "Is there more? Tell me more about him." Zhao Yan instantly broke a sweat, feeling the heavy pressure of the situation. He nervously replied, "Talking about others behind their backs is not appropriate. Just be kind to him at school. That's enough while I know what you guys are thinking in your big head." Unable to handle the intense proximity, he stood up abruptly, making up an excuse. "I have to attend the charity gala tonight. I'll leave now." Inwardly, he was screaming, "Who can withstand this temptation? If this continues, I'll be embarrassed." But she wasn't letting him go that easily. She grabbed onto his sleeve, pleading sweetly, "Brother, kind brother. I'll join you to the gala. Tell me more on the way." Zhao Yan awkwardly stammered, "I'm about that. Guys, I want to exchange my body too." He practically sprinted toward the door like his life depended on it. "No need. I already have a companion," he shouted while making a hasty escape. He thought to himself in sheer panic. "If she finds out I have a physical reaction to my sister, she'll definitely think her older brother is a total weirdo." Meanwhile, Chenyu sat back, utterly confused by his strange behavior. Afterwards, a sleek red sports car tore through the bright city lights, heading straight for the charity banquet. Inside the car, Secretary Sushu sat nervously in the passenger seat, a slight blush on her face. "I never expected Chairman Chen to invite me to the gala," she said softly. Zhao Yan kept his eyes on the road and replied coldly, "I didn't invite you for nothing. I asked you to investigate the background of Changhong Trading." "How is the investigation going?" "Getting straight to business," she explained. "I found out that Changhong has two shareholders. The chairman holds 20%. The other shareholder, Zhou Ping, holds 80% and is the younger brother of Haiming. Clearly, he's holding shares on behalf of Haiming." As they pulled up to the venue, Zhao Yan nodded in satisfaction. "You did a good job. Keep up the good work," he praised. "In that case, Haiming's embezzlement is unlikely to go unnoticed. The remaining task is to find the evidence." They walked up to the grand glass doors where a polite valet warmly directed them. "Chairman Chen, please, the charity banquet is on the 7th floor." Zhao Yan simply replied, "Okay." Stepping into the luxurious hall, they were immediately greeted by an older gentleman. "Chairman Chen, you're a bit late." The man chuckled, admiring his presence. "You are as distinguished as ever. Please sit here." Just then, Su Shua leaned in and whispered, "Chairman Chen, the person over there with glasses. That's Lu Hai, the chairman of Binhai International, who's cooperating with Chang Hong this time." A confident smile crept onto Zhao Yan's face as he noted, "What a coincidence." The event quickly kicked off as the charismatic anchor took the stage. He addressed the wealthy crowd, announcing, "Since it's a charity banquet, naturally, donations will be made before the banquet starts." Immediately, hands shot up across the room as the elite flashed their wealth. Bids rang out: Marriott Group, 5 million. Green Ridge Company, 3 million. Yuan Tang Group, 4 million. Suddenly, a loud voice cut through the noise, silencing the hall. On behalf of Master Zhao Yan leaned back in his chair, flashing two arrogant peace signs and casually dropped a bombshell, a donation of 30 million. The entire room froze in absolute disbelief. The jaws of the wealthiest elites dropped to the floor, completely overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of the donation. "Come on, guys." He wasn't doing this out of the goodness of his heart. Zhao Yan let out a wicked laugh, thinking to himself, "Cut. Anyone can pretend. After all, it's not my money, so I don't feel sorry." The charity banquet was buzzing with whispers, friends. Everywhere you looked, the elite were gossiping about the mysterious benefactor. People were scratching their heads, asking, "Who exactly is this Zhao Yan?" But of course, the rumors were already running wild. They whispered that Zhao Yan was a massive powerhouse behind Chendon's success. And even after Chendon practically begged for his involvement, he got rejected. Look, if only they knew the truth about who was actually in whose body right now. Meanwhile, Zhao Yan, comfortably chilling in Chendon's billionaire body, was living his absolute best life. A stunning woman next to him playfully called him dad, while our guy just posed for the cameras, thinking to himself that he really had to maintain this high-class image. On stage, the host's voice echoed through the hall, excitedly thanking Mr. Zhao for the biggest donation of the night, bringing hope to the children in the mountainous region. Listening to this, Lu Hai's mind was racing. He sat there, carefully analyzing the situation. He figured this Zhao Yan definitely had a terrifying background. Suddenly, partnering with Changhong Trading didn't seem like the smartest move anymore. Thankfully, he hadn't formally signed their contract yet. Seizing the perfect moment, Zhao Yan casually waved his hand. He nonchalantly mentioned to Lu Hai that 5% of their $6 billion project was just $30 million. He smoothly told him that it was just a small amount of money, and if he still wanted to partner with Chong Hong, he should just go ahead. Lu Hai immediately started sweating bullets. He stammered out a nervous laugh, insisting that they hadn't signed anything yet. He was completely convinced now, realizing that to someone like the legendary Mr. Zhao, money was just a meaningless number. That smile vanished real quick. Leaning in with a sharp, piercing glare, Zhao Yan laid down a heavy warning. He stated coldly that Mr. Zhao despises betrayal more than anything, and those who betray him never meet a good end. Lu Hai smirked, thinking he had completely decoded the hidden message. He eagerly agreed, realizing that He Ming was about to dive into deep trouble. But guys, the irony? Zhao Yan was secretly laughing inside, thinking he was just putting on a dramatic show and wondering what on earth Lu Hai actually thought he understood. Suddenly, Lu Hai couldn't hold back anymore. He practically yelled out, asking if he was being looked down upon, boldly declaring that his company could easily handle that 30 million. He offered a massive 6 billion project directly to Han Jiang, promising to sign a contract tomorrow. And just like that, Zhao Yan sealed the deal. As they shook hands, Zhao Yan murmured, wondering if Chong Hong's elaborate signing ceremony preparations were just a massive waste. Internally, Zhao Yan was jumping for joy. He felt absolutely incredible, knowing he just effortlessly earned back the 30 million he donated earlier. Looking a bit confused, Lu Hai asked what he meant by that. With a devious smirk, Zhao Yan explained his master plan. They couldn't just let Chong Hong's ceremony go to waste. Instead, they would keep this massive news a secret and hijack their originally planned signing event. Lu Hai's glasses glinted as the sheer ruthlessness of the plan hit him. He realized this wasn't just business. It was a deadly, calculated scheme. Noticing his hesitation, Zhao Yan narrowed his eyes sharply, questioning if the director had any issues with the arrangement. Without missing a beat, Lu Hai poured him a glass of wine, fully submitting to the plan. He concluded that He Ming was nothing but a crafty fool, and long-term stability was way more valuable. Letting Ming face the total consequences heading his way, Zhao Yan raised his glass with a victorious, charming smile, proposing a toast to their new, everlasting friendship. The glasses chimed together with a crisp ring, sealing their happy cooperation. Later on, a gorgeous woman fed Zhao Yan a snack, praising his undeniable capability for securing the project. She flirtatiously wondered aloud just how much more formidable the mysterious Mr. Zhao must be. Just then, an older gentleman approached. It was Chun Hai Long, the main organizer of the charity event. He politely invited both him and the elusive Mr. Zhao to a private meal as a token of gratitude. But keeping his cool, Zhao Yan smoothly declined, stating that Mr. Zhao simply didn't like to be disturbed. Zhao Yan was living his luxurious life, while others started to murmur about Zhao Yan. Guys, I want to eat noodles like this too. But guys, nobody could have imagined this. In the next scene, an entire desk was flipped over with a massive, heavy thud. It was Hai Ming absolutely losing his mind. Standing amidst the chaos of his ruined office, he roared in pure frustration, calling Chan Hong a scoundrel and vowing to never let him win. His brother-in-law, Zhou Ping, calmly stepped in. He casually suggested that Hai Ming should just forget about being a simple director and aim straight for the chairman's seat at Chan Hong. Hai Ming gritted his teeth, admitting that while the idea was good, his crushed pride was a bitter pill to swallow. Zhou Ping leaned in and said, "The day after tomorrow, during the signing ceremony with Binhai International, I plan to invite Chen Han and people from Hanxiang Group to attend as spectators. At that time, you'll reveal your identity to sign a contract," fiercely embarrassing Chen Han. Sound great, doesn't it? Patting his shoulder confidently, Hai Ming revealed his plot to invite the media to cover their grand comeback. He promised to wipe away all the humiliation, laughing mischievously as Zhou Ping assured Hai Ming that everything was already perfectly arranged. Biting his lip so hard a crimson mark appeared, Hai Ming glared into the shadows. He warned his rival to get ready to face absolute disgrace. "I'm telling you guys, this man's arrogance is going to cost him." Afterwards, the morning sun gleamed brightly over the towering Binhai Hotel. Inside, the floor of a luxurious suite was an absolute mess, scattered with discarded clothes, an empty wine bottle, and high heels. Laying under the covers with the stunning secretary Su Shu, Zhao Yun looked entirely too proud of himself. He mused internally about working hard on official matters by day and pushing through personal affairs by night. He just thanked his lucky stars that the real Chun Han was single, or else things would have gotten incredibly messy. Waking up beside her, Zhao Yun gently stroked her cheek. He whispered that it was time to get to work, but playfully she said that she still wanted a little more time. Staying perfectly in character, he smoothly instructed her to arrange a meeting with Zhou Ping. Wrapping her arms around him from behind, she praised a successful deal from the night before. But then she asked the golden question. After planning to completely expose the traitor Haiming, was the great Mr. Zhao happy with all this? He stuttered briefly in surprise, nervously repeating Mr. Zhao's name. Making the goofiest expression ever, Zhao Yun completely lost his cool billionaire aura, happily confirming that Mr. Zhao was definitely over the moon. Meanwhile, back at Binhai University, absolute chaos had erupted in the classroom. Students were practically jumping off their desks, screaming in disbelief that Zhao Yun had secretly donated 30 million. One guy even loudly announced that Zhao Yun was his new blood brother. Standing frozen amidst the cheering crowd, the real billionaire, Chen Han, currently trapped in Zhao Yun's poor student body, covered his face in utter despair. Sweating profusely, a dark aura of frustration consumed him. He panicked, realizing his own wealth had just been recklessly thrown away. He cursed silently, realizing this absolute menace had seriously messed with him. Trust me, getting your own bank account drained by the guy driving your body is a whole new level of pain. The campus was in an absolute uproar. Students huddled around their phones in pure disbelief. Someone yelled out, "Did you see that?" Zhao Yun asked the CEO of Hanjiang Group to donate 30 million to impoverished mountain areas at the charity gala. Another student pointed at his screen, completely stunned. 30 million? He didn't even mention it today. Meanwhile, Mr. Screaming Fanboy threw his arms back and shouted at the top of his lungs. Zhao Yun is amazing. He did such a big thing without any publicity. Zhao Yun, you're my idol. Look, I'm telling you guys, not everyone was thrilled. Deep down, the original Chen Han was shedding tears of absolute agony. He thought to himself, 30 million? I've never donated more than 5 million in one go. Zhao Yun, this guy. In the next scene, Professor Proud Vest stood at the front of the classroom, throwing his arms wide open in dramatic excitement. He addressed the man of the hour directly. Zhao Yun, my great student, after such a generous act, can you say a few words to everyone? Zhao Yun casually rested his chin on his hand, looking perfectly modest. He sighed smoothly and said, well, there's really nothing much to say. It's just that I was unlucky. No, it's what I should do. Just a small contribution within my means. Nothing to mention. The professor was so moved, he practically fell backward, throwing his arms in the air. He shouted, how elegant. Did you all see it, students? Zhao Yun, with such noble character and kindness. The classroom erupted into thunderous applause. But guys behind that humble face, Chendong thought, Zhao Yun, you shameless person. I've been in the club for so many years, and I've never encountered someone who keeps pulling off these slick moves. Meanwhile, Chen Yu adjusted her glasses, her cheeks flushed with admiration. She thought to herself, Zhao Yun is so much more generous than my brother. My brother has only donated 5 million at most once, and it took a lot of persuasion from me. Suddenly, Mr. Bitter, poor student panicked. He grabbed his classmate's arm and yelled in pure horror, seriously, is my little sister also starting to admire Zhao Yun? At this exact time, back in the corporate office, Zhao Yun, who was still occupying Chairman Shen Han's body, suddenly let out a violent series of sneezes. He grabbed a tissue and rubbed his nose, looking completely exhausted. He muttered in frustration. Did some arrogant jerk curse me or something? Just then, his beautiful secretary, Su Shu, walked up and leaned in close, her eyes sparkling playfully. She asked softly, Mr. Chen, did I make you feel chilly last night when I took the blanket? Zhao Yun immediately scoffed, replying, wrong. It's some beautiful lady who was thinking about me. Su Shu puffed her cheeks into a cute pout and reached out, gently pinching his cheek. She complained, I hate it when you say such nonsense in front of me. Zhao Yun threw his arms up dramatically, letting out a loud sigh. He exclaimed, oh, my, can't you stop being jealous? Can we have some positive energy? Su Shu turned away, her face flushed red with embarrassment. She mumbled under her breath, speaking confidently when you put on your pants. Men are such hypocrites. You didn't say that last night. Zhao Yun just sat back in his luxury office chair, looking at her back. Suddenly, a sharp ringing sound echoed through the room as the desk phone demanded his attention. Su Shu leaned over the desk to pick up the receiver. She listened for a second before turning to him. All right, Mr. Chen has been waiting for a while. Zhao Yun stood up calmly and asked, hey, is Zhou Ping here? He then gave the order, let him in. Before she left, Su Shu glanced back with a playful smile and said, Mr. Chen, the tea is ready. I'll leave first. He simply nodded and replied, okay. The door opened and Zhou Ping stepped into the office. He looked slightly guarded, his hands buried in his jacket pockets as he asked, Mr. Chen, may I know why you called for me? Zhao Yun gestured toward the chairs bathed in sunlight. He told him smoothly, please have a seat. I won't beat around the bush. I called you here to discuss Chang Han's affairs. The 80% stake you hold in trust. Do you want to make your own? Zhou Ping immediately got defensive. He shot back. Make it my own? Are you trying to sow discord between me and my brother-in-law? Dream on. But Zhao Yun remained perfectly calm, challenging him. Do I need to sow discord between you two? If he trusts you, why doesn't he give you even a small stake? Have you ever thought about what would happen to those chairs if something were to happen to him? Zhou Ping scoffed, looking utterly unconvinced. He replied confidently. What else can happen? They go to my sister. And besides, there's my nephew. Zhao Yun just gave him a sinister, knowing smile. He leaned forward and asked, if he, Ming, is out of the picture, can't you win over your sister? A dark shadow fell over Zhou Ping's face as the true weight of those words finally clicked in his mind. He whispered softly, it does seem that way. Zhou Ping stared at him, desperately needing reassurance. He asked, why are you helping me? Why should I trust you? Zhao Yun sat back, exuding complete authority. He told him bluntly, I'm not helping you. I just dislike traitors. Besides, do you want to be his dog forever? The tension in the room was palpable. Zhou Ping clenched his fist hard on the table and muttered with deep resentment. Over the years, I've been with my brother-in-law. But he, Ming. After a brief, heavy silence, Zhou Ping grabbed a cup of tea. His eyes were completely hardened with fresh resolve. He agreed. All right, I promise you, I'll do it. Zhao Yun handed him the cup and smiled, replying, great. Happy future cooperation, Zhou Ping. With a sharp clink, the two men tapped their teacups together, sealing their dark and treacherous alliance. Afterwards, the office returned to a quiet, serene state, bathed in the warm afternoon sunlight. Everything seemed perfectly fine. But guys, nobody could have imagined this. A small, strange glint flashed from behind a potted plant in the corner of the room. The camera zoomed in past the green leaves, revealing a hidden camera lens staring directly at the spot where the two men had just sat. Zhao Yun sat alone in his chair, folding his hands together with an incredibly wicked smirk. He thought to himself, Zhou Ping. Ah, Zhou Ping. Did you ever think that I recorded everything that just happened? You can't escape from the palm of my hand now. Well guys, that's the end of the video. If you like this video, comment part 2 in the comments section. Also subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell and like the video. Thank you for watching and see you next time again.